Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am going to be doing a weekly reading vlog and taking you along with me. So this week is a pretty normal week for me aside from my studio's recital is this weekend. So it's kind of a busier week due to dress rehearsals, texts, and then also, the actual performances. So I'm hoping to still get a really good amount of reading in this week. Fingers crossed, we'll see. To start the reading off for this week, I'm going to be continuing Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is a prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy, but after A Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. This is Haymitch's story, and I am really excited to get more about Haymitch and his background, his story, kind of more of a behind the scenes look as to the reasons why he turned out the way he did and his coping mechanisms and all that stuff that we see in the trilogy. So I'm really excited to read this. I started this on Sunday. It's currently Tuesday, May 13th. And when I had first started it, I'd only gotten about 36 pages in and I had already started crying. So I have really high expectations for it. I try not to go into reading books with high expectations, but when you're stepping back into such an iconic world like the Hunger Games and just how that series truly changed reading for me, I just love being in this world. Like, okay, it's terrifying and so sad and heart-wrenching, but I think that's why it's so gripping. And I never want to put this down. I've been dying to read it all day today. I had to do since it's recital week, I had to do a lot of recital prep and class evaluations for my students. And I've just been thinking about wanting to open this book and just binge it. So I am hoping to get a good amount of reading done within the next hour that I have. I have to leave around 6 to go teach, but that's still a decent amount of time. And then I'll come home and probably continue reading. So I'm gonna get started on some reading and I will catch back up with you once I've gotten a good ways through or something happens. So I'll catch up with you whenever I have something to talk about. I haven't been gone very long, but already just the interactions between the District 12 tributes have already been so funny. Like their interactions on the train ride to the Capitol, it's just so funny. Suzanne Collins just does such a good job of combining the emotional, the funny, you already not liking some of the characters. It's just so good. I'm really happy to be back in this world. Scared, but happy.
Lovers.
Hello.
Hello to the video.
Couldn't tell. Tate just got home. It is now the next day and I got back from teaching last night and I read for a little bit. I just didn't record any of that because it would have just been basically the same thing that you've already seen. So I got to page 118 or chapter 9. I had such a hard time putting this book down last night, but I closed it and I put it down. This morning I woke up and honestly I had a pretty rough morning. I started my period yesterday, so today's my second day and that's always typically the worst day for me. And then when I woke up this morning around 7:30 to get my day started, I just felt so ill that I was like, nope. I'm literally just gonna let my body rest. With that said, I have a little bit of time before I leave to go to my workout and I really don't wanna go because I don't feel great, but I've made a commitment to myself and I'm gonna go. Reading this yesterday, I'm 30% way through the book. Suzanne Collins, one thing I super appreciate about her, with the Hunger Games, they're in trial, so of course people are gonna die. Like that's kind of the point of the whole Hunger Games. But I just really appreciate how she kills characters off. I feel that authors in the dystopian, the sci-fi and fantasy, especially the fantasy realm lately, almost read the same, a lot of them, a lot of like the most popular ones. I don't want to put everyone under that umbrella, but like the more popular ones, they're all the same story. And there's no risk. Like there's no risk to either the magic system or to the people fighting. Like there's just no risk. And so I love being back in a world where it's like, no, they're gonna die and you're gonna cry about it. Thank you, Suzanne Collins, for staying true to your word, because this still feels very much like the Hunger Games world. It doesn't feel like every other book, and I so greatly appreciate that. Things are interesting in here. Haymitch is finding alliances, creating relationships, and whenever that happens, I get nervous because then I get more attached to the people that they are allying with. So it scares me because you know that they're gonna die. You know Haymitch survives. So what does that mean for everybody else? If you've read this, you know, within the first 118 pages, you know the things that happen. And I was like, oh, I wish I was recording during that, because the gasp I gasped. I truly was shocked. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. Whoa. But I feel like that's just gonna be this entire book. So sit here and read for a bit, and I will come back and talk to you when I have more to say. You know, I just kind of forgot how good of a villain President Snow is. Dang. Even reading this and seeing connections from the trilogy to this, to things Snow is saying, is crazy. And then after reading A Ballad of Songbird and Snakes and just knowing Snow's background, really makes you hate him even more. Oh, my hip just popped. Ow. It is now the next day. I'm now on to part 3, the poster. So honestly, I have only a little bit left to go. I read a lot yesterday. I'm now at the part where, well, they've been in the arena. So they've been in the arena for, I think, like 2 days, 3 maybe. Let's just say that some of the deaths have been really brutal and sad, and Suzanne Collins just does such a good job with balance. I'm getting really close. I only have this much left, just over 100 pages really, so I think I'm gonna knock this out today. I have dress rehearsal tonight. I don't have to leave until close to 4, so got a good chunk of time. I'm gonna finish this, so I'm gonna leave you here, and I will catch back up with you whenever I have finished this, or if something absolutely crazy happens. That can always happen in a Hunger Games novel. So I know at the beginning of this book, Macely was like just so snobbish and snotty, but I've actually ended up really liking her. She's funny. I love that these characters are finding humor in something as like dark as what they're going through. The humor is funny. I know it's a coping mechanism, but same. I also cope with making jokes, so. Shoot. Stop. Shoot, I can't read. I'm crying too much. Well, Just a warning, chapter 23.
Don't mind how sad I look because this book is, like I expected, breaking my heart. I'm on chapter 24. Am I ready to cry again? No. I really don't know what's gonna happen in this chapter. I know what has to happen. But it's such a good book. But man, does it just destroy your emotions. So here we go.
I have not cried this much over a book in so long. Wow. As you saw, I finished Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, and it absolutely wrecked me. I have not cried this much while reading a book in a hot minute. I honestly can't remember the last book that made me cry this hard. Haymitch makes so much sense. This book is really important. I'm so thankful that Suzanne Collins wrote it and put it out in the world. I'm going to be telling everybody that if they've read the trilogy and A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, they absolutely need to read this book. I love epilogues if they are done well, but most of the time epilogues kind of waver a lot. This epilogue is an epilogue that I'm gonna think about in a really good way for a while. The story about Haymitch and what happens when Haymitch is in the trials with people from his district and there being double the amount of kids in this Hunger Games because it's a quarter quell. The things that happen in here in just 6 days, it rips your heart out. Even though this is a prequel and we know Haymitch lives, I was still on the edge of my seat wondering, oh my gosh, is this where Haymitch dies? He literally is alive because he is Katniss and Peeta's mentor. Like, he literally lives. But I forgot because Suzanne Collins did such a wonderful job immersing me into what Haymitch was experiencing. With that, I could not give it 5 stars. I'm giving this 5 stars. I'm seriously gonna think about Haymitch and his story. There's not enough words to use to describe how much this book made me feel. Definitely read this, but prepare yourself. Bring the tissues and drink lots of water while you're reading it. So that is Sunrise on the Reaping. Another one down. I had to take a break after finishing this to eat some lunch and also just let my brain be mush for a bit. But after dress rehearsal tonight, I'm gonna go clean for the business my husband works for. It's a family business. I clean the office once a week. It's just extra cash. It's what buys my books. I really want to read A Sky Beyond the Storm, but that's not available on audiobook on Spotify for free. And I'm cheap and don't pay for Audible. I like to listen to music, podcasts, or audiobooks while I'm cleaning. And I would really like to find an audiobook. So I might have to go look on my shelf. I'm hoping one of my hopefuls for this month is on there, but it might not be. So I might have to just pick a random book. I will update you once that is done. And I decide what I'm reading next. Because it might still be A Sky Beyond the Storm and I might just listen to music while I'm cleaning tonight. But I'll figure that out. Hello. It has been, let's see, the last clip was on Thursday that you saw, I believe. Like I said earlier in this video, it's recital week. And recital is always so hectic and so busy. And this is my first recital with the studio. And so I don't know what they do, how they operate. And so it was a lot. I got pretty overwhelmed. But it is now Monday. Thursday, after that last clip, that clip where I was talking about how I was gonna get ready and hopefully start another book. I'm actually gonna put you down, hold on. I had to sit down. I'm very fatigued from this weekend. It was absolutely insane. Saturday, absolutely hellacious. Then Sunday was a recovery day. I was out of it. I took a really good nap on Sunday. And then I read for a good like 2.5 hours. I just didn't capture any of it because I had kind of just really gotten into my book. And so I felt like there wasn't really anything worth saying. But the book I ended up deciding to go into was A Sky Beyond the Storm by Saba Tahir. This is the 4th book and final book of the An Ember in the Ashes series. And I just decided to start it because I missed these characters. I got 20% in though. I'm on page 105. I don't want the series to end, but I missed the characters and so I needed to read it. And I am loving it. She's amazing. Read her books. In a little bit, I might head to the library to meet up with my sister-in-law and nephew and play with him in like the little play area. I'm going to read, I'm going to eat some lunch, read for a little bit until she texts me that they are headed to the library. And then the rest of the plans for the day, I have an in-person book club tonight, which I'm really excited about. A friend from church invited me to her in-person book club. Very excited to meet some people in real life. So I need to figure out what book I'm going to take as a recommendation for us to read. I'm going to, in this clip, I will talk to you when I have anything to say. I am officially back. I mentioned possibly going, I think, to the library with my sister-in-law to see my nephew and her. Did that. I've been back for a little bit, caught up on some tasks around the house. And now I have some time to sit down and read, and so that's what I'm going to do. And enjoy this for as long as I can before I have to get ready to leave for a workout. So. I'm about to leave to go to a workout class, but I'm going to be making some coffee before I do that. I have some coffee that we made hot yesterday or like this weekend, but didn't finish the pot. I like saving it so I don't waste it because we buy good coffee to drink because we're coffee snobs. Now don't get me wrong, I will drink Starbucks coffee when the time is needed. Whoa. It's all good. But I prefer not to. I like supporting small businesses, so small coffee roasters. I was a coffee roaster back in Texas, and so that's part of the reason why I'm such a coffee snob, is because I was trained by who I think is the best coffee roaster in the entire world. My coffee dad, Mike. Love that guy. He is literally my coffee dad. We worked together for like 8 years. And we still have a really good relationship. We talk, we text. He's basically my second dad. He's amazing. I miss him. Mike, if you're watching this, I love you. I'm still not recouped from this weekend. And so more coffee with some creamer. I normally don't drink coffee with creamer, but I need the sugar. I need the sugar to get me amped and ready to go to this workout class. Lord, please let this not be an endurance day. Oh my gosh, if it's an endurance day, I think I might actually die. I got to about 30% into my book, so I read about 10% more, which is great. There's a lot of things happening right now. When I say a lot has happened, I don't mean like full-blown action scenes, but there's a lot of relationship development, not in romantic ways, but like political ways. Relationships being like figured out, who they can trust, who they can't trust, kind of going on their solo mission. Laya is right now, and then Elias. I'm really excited to see where his story goes. Every single time I turn to a chapter and it's in his point of view, I get super excited because there's just so much that can happen with his character. There's so much that can happen with all these characters. Even when there's not action happening, it's so interesting, which is, I think, so impressive. Because not everyone can write a good fight scene. I've read some books that don't have great fight scenes. When you can write a 516 page book and I'm dying to just, I don't want to put it down because I'm like, I'm hooked. I am hooked. So that's the update so far. Things are forming and the pot's getting stirred. So I'm gonna drink this. I'm gonna go change into my workout clothes. I'm gonna go to my gym class and then come back and keep reading.
The next day.
Good morning. It's later in the morning than what I want it to be. My alarm didn't go off this morning. I slept terribly and I was out till like 10 p.m. last night at book club. Book club was so much fun. We were just yapping. We were just talking and time slipped away, literally. And then we all were like, oh my gosh, it's 10 p.m. Why can I never get this off? Oh my gosh. I woke up this morning actually to my dog Daisy staring down at me like, yo, you gonna get up? And then just had a hard time getting out of bed. If you know, you know. If you've been there, you understand. But I'm gonna make myself some coffee after I let Daisy outside. You wanna go outside? Okay. Oh, that is so good. That's so good. Doesn't need any creamer. No, that is so good. No. Nope. No. Nope. Oh, thank God. Now, over halfway through with the book. I'm on page 261. I love how she writes. I understand the time, the pacing is so well done. Like, I'm never bored reading this. The pacing is so good. The pacing in the amount of time that the characters are traveling also just feels super realistic. Like, these books take place over a span of years. It's war. So it just feels so realistic because wars last for years. And so I just love how realistic it is in that sense. She writes in her books tidbits of like, and for these 2 weeks, this is what happened. It's not in every chapter, but when it's needed, it's there. And she's really reliable in her timeline, and me as a reader being able to understand how long something has taken, how long a journey has gone. I hope that makes sense. I just really appreciate to hear putting that in because it just makes the reading so much easier because you truly feel like that's factual. That took 2 weeks. This took a month. They've been plotting this thing for 3 months and now it's going into effect. It's so good. And it helps me understand war so much more and like appreciate also what goes into planning when you are fighting an enemy. Like, it's crazy. It's very insightful, and I'm about to hear, wow, I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. With that said, I will come back and talk to you when there's more to say. So I'm now on page 315, less than 200 pages, which is great. Lots of twists and turns have been happening. I'm making connections. There's been some twists that I haven't seen coming, and I overall am just really impressed with this book. I really am super impressed with this series because normally I always have something figured out where it's like, oh, this and this are connected actually, and then it's like, it actually is later on. I haven't been able to do that really with this. And I think part of it is because I haven't been trying to figure it out. I've just simply been enjoying the book, which I think is very rare for me. I think is really impressive for an author to be able to do that for me, because that's not normally how it works. Also, can we appreciate the sheer floppiness of these books too? This was the boxed set edition that I got, and it all comes in paperback, but I love it because I can just lay it down and I can just read and I don't have to worry about the pages flipping. yeah, so that's my update. Tate should be getting off of work. Oh, it's 5:11. He is off of work and will be pulling up any moment now. And we are actually going to go to Barnes & Noble because Rachel Gillig came out with her new book, The Night and the Moth. I think we're gonna eat at Chipotle, which is our favorite place. Go to Barnes & Noble. So I will take you along with me for that to pick up Rachel Gillig's new book. I'm so excited for that one. But yeah, this has been going really well. I feel like these last 200 pages are going to actually be crazy. This is the scary part where things can happen. Characters that you are emotionally attached to are at risk. And I'm scared. Don't go into this series thinking everyone lives. No, no, no. But that's what makes her an amazing author. And I feel like that's an art in the fantasy realm that has been lost in recent years, where now every book reads the same and you know everyone's going to survive and most likely have a happy ending. There's spice in there and you're like, why does a fantasy need spice? But yeah, I'm rambling. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to go to Barnes & Noble and let this Daisy girl outside. Yeah, okay. And hopefully Tate will be here soon. I'm really excited. Thanks for coming to Barnes & Noble.
You're very welcome.
It is now Wednesday, and this is going to be the last day that I am filming for this video. I'm going to be finishing this book. Last night, I had 200 pages left, and I read another 100 pages before I went to bed. And we are definitely in the climax of what's happening. There is war going on, lots of emotional moments of not knowing what's gonna happen, which is always terrifying. So I have less than 100 pages. I've read some this morning and I'm nervous to finish this because I have ideas as to some things that could happen, and I hope I'm wrong or I'm going to be crying a lot in this vlog because I read Sunrise on the Reaping, which wrecked me, and if what I think is going to happen happens, I'm gonna be wrecked in this one too. So that's the update for right now. I'm hoping to finish this within like the next hour or so, and then I will give you my review. What? Okay, I did not see that coming. Stop it. What the heck? You're kidding me. Now on to part 5. I think I need a minute. Those last 3 chapters hurt a lot. These are happy tears. Didn't see that coming either. Holy crap. Stop. I Now that I've had some time to compose myself, because that absolutely wrecked me, I am going to tell you my thoughts and review on A Sky Beyond the Storm. I'm giving this book 5 stars. The series, 6 stars. It has absolutely exceeded my expectations for it, and I am just absolutely blown away by Tahir's writing and her mind and what she came up with, and the twists, the plots, the characters. I'm going to be thinking about these characters for a really long time. This series is going to stick with me. The writing is very, very beautiful. Even with how the characters interact with each other, it just feels very meaningful and purposeful, and none of it is meaningless. Whether they are friends or foes, or it is an elder speaking to a pupil, like, all of it is just amazing. The only thing that I would say is which I think is kind of interesting, is there are scenes in this book that would be considered, I think, mature for 18 and younger. This is a YA series, and so it shouldn't have spice in it. There's like 1, maybe even 2 scenes that was a little too descriptive, but then later on there was other scenes that were fade to black. So I don't understand why there was an inconsistency with that. That's really the only complaint I have about this book, is that just felt just put in there for not really any reason. But incredibly talented writer doesn't need that to sell a book. So this series is going to be staying with me for a good long while. I'm going to miss these characters. I left in my review on Fable that I didn't finish this book finished me. And I feel like that accurately just wraps up everything that happened in this book and in this series. I'm sad it's over, but I'm glad it happened. So with that, in this video, we had 2 5-star books, which is absolutely insane because I did not expect to film 2 5-star books in one video. I had high expectations for Sunrise on the Reaping. I was hoping that was going to be a 5-star. And because this book series has already been a 5-star, I was a little wary of the last book also being a 5 stars, since the first 3 were 5 stars for me. I've read some series where the last book kind of just ruins it all. I've had experiences where authors know how to write the buildup in a fantasy series but don't know how to end it. And I'm glad that my thoughts of wariness were wrong, because this was absolutely incredible. Sunrise on the Reaping, amazing, highly recommend. An Ember in the Ashes series, you have to read it. I'm going to be throwing this in everyone's faces saying, read this. You're going to love me and hate me at the same time, but we can cry together. We can feel all the emotions together. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this video and for joining me for this vlog. We had some big hitters. I'm very glad that I was vlogging this week to capture my reactions to both of these books. I would greatly appreciate it if you liked and commented on this video, as it greatly helps my small channel. And if you hit that subscribe button and turn on the little bell notification, so that way you get notifications for every single time I post, that would also be greatly appreciated. I hope you stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!